Hi, fellow leaders. Welcome to this month's Lead the Way Wednesday. Our theme for this month is around athletic leadership. This topic, specifically for me, holds a really special place in my heart because I grew up an athlete, and athletics is a place where I started building most of the leadership skills that I have today at a young age. So, a little fun fact about me before we jump into today's content. I am actually a three-time national champion bowler. Yeah, here's one of my trophies. So I have won two collegiate national titles, and I actually won the USBC Women's National Championships just this last year out in Chicago. So my main sports growing up were obviously bowling. That's where my titles are from, basketball, and lacrosse. So I played a lot of sports, but those were kind of mine that I always had going. I love the team aspect of sports, and being a part of that team really helped me develop the leadership skills that I bring to the workplace today, and is part of the reason why I'm able to successfully build strong teams today on my at my work. So today I wanted to talk to you all about some of those leadership skills and essential skills that athletes possess. Those three skills being communication, accountability, and adaptability. These skills are critical for anyone to become a successful leader, and athletes typically possess these in abundance because they use them every single day they're playing their sport. So, first, let's talk about communication. Athletes really understand the importance of clear communication when it comes to leading a team. It's not enough to simply give orders or instructions to one another. They actually need to effectively communicate, and that involves active listening, providing constructive feedback, and being open to suggestions from others. So, if you've ever played a sport before, say basketball, defense is all about communication, knowing who's got who and where the ball's at and who needs to cover for each other. That doesn't just go with barking orders. You have to be able to listen to one another. So athletes really learn to communicate from their coaches, their teammates, even fans. And it's really critical for them to be successful in the game that they're playing. So in team sports, like I mentioned, basketball or even football, the players must communicate effectively on the court and field to ensure that everyone's on the same page. So this requires athletes to also be good listeners. We have to listen for our teammates out there so we know how to act accordingly. Um, we also have to be able to understand those different communication styles and adjust our approach effectively. So our teammates, we get the most out of them too. So athletes, we kind of learn how to communicate with our coaches. We learn how to communicate with our teammates by providing feedback on our performance and also asking for guidance from one another on how to improve. So maybe your teammate's not hearing you clearly or doesn't understand what you're saying. You can have a natural conversation with them and point it out, give them feedback on the situation, and understand from them how could you do it differently next time. Those rapid feedback loops are really what help us become effective communicators. So, effective communication also involves being able to articulate the team's goals and visions clearly. So, athletes must be able to inspire their teammates and create a sense of utility and purpose, right? In team sports, you can't win the national title by yourself. You got to go and get everyone else on the same page. You got to get them in the game. You got to get them chasing that same dream that maybe you've had your entire life. So when everyone is working together on a common goal, communication is critical to ensuring that everyone is on the same page and working towards those same objectives. Secondly, let's talk about accountability. Athletes understand that they are responsible for their actions and their performance, but they also understand that they're a part of a team. And in team sports, one person's performance can't affect an entire team's success. Therefore, athletes must be able to hold themselves accountable and as well as their teammates accountable to high performance standards. This can be really challenging to do, but that accountability and leading by example is really what makes the best team leaders shine. So, this might mean being honest about your own performance and taking responsibility for your own mistakes that you make. It also means holding their teammates accountable and being willing to provide constructive feedback, which is really hard, but also critical when we get into the workforce. So when everyone is accountable for their actions, it starts to create a culture of trust and respect within the team itself. They're able to give each other feedback and they continue to just become a better and stronger team. Accountability also means being willing to take risks and make more difficult decisions. So athletes understand that there are times when they must step up and take charge, even if that means making unpopular decisions. This requires a certain level of courage and self-confidence, which are essential traits for any leader. For me, this happened in one of my national championship games. I knew in order for us to win, I either needed to finish the game off because I had the experience in that position, or I needed to start our team off on the right foot and leave it up to one of my other teammates that maybe have not done this before to actually finish the game out for us. So it was a really tough decision, but I knew that with my leadership skills, if I got the energy going and if I got our team headed in the right direction, they would follow my lead. And I knew I could trust the person at the end of the team lineup to really bring us home. So I gave up naturally what would be considered like the number one spot on the team, which is the last bowler on the team. And I gave up that opportunity for somebody else. And instead, I took the lead on that. And in doing that, that is what was key to our success. I gave up that. I led us to that position where our last bowler could win it for us. And they came up and they stepped up to the plate and they did it. But they wouldn't have maybe got there if I didn't step up to the plate to begin with. So finally, let's talk about adaptability. Athletes understand that not everything goes according to plan. I mean, how many of us have said, "Oh, we're totally going to win this game," and then you're stuck in a place where you find yourself down because maybe you were a lazy or whatever was going on in the court, things just weren't going your way. Well, you need to be able to adapt to that and come back from that. So athletes must be able to adjust their strategy as needed when certain things are playing out on the court. And this means being flexible, being open minded, willing to consider different approaches or maybe even different ideas altogether. In team sports, athletes must be able to adapt to different playing styles or even different strategies. They must also be able to work effectively with different personalities and different styles. This requires a high level of emotional intelligence and the ability to communicate effectively with others, as we previously mentioned. So, this can come in a variety of different avenues. Once you get to more elite sports, your competition knows what your game is. They watch game tape on you. They know what your plays are. They know how you play defense. So they might adjust their strategies to the game that you all normally play. And guess what? If you're going to win, you got to adjust them right back at them and attack those areas of opportunity that you're seeing from them. Adaptability also means being able to learn from mistakes and failures. Athletes understand not every game or competition is going to go their way, but they're going to use these experiences as opportunities to learn and grow. So, just for as many games as I've won, or even national championships I've won, I have lost twice as many of them, maybe even 3 times as many of them. So, with the success does come a lot of failures, but in those failures is where you learn the most typically when you reflect on them. And that's how you continue to get better. So we understand the importance of continuous improvement, always striving to be better and pushing ourselves to the limits. So, in conclusion, athletes possess a wide range of leadership skills, including communication, accountability, and adaptability. These skills are essential for anyone looking to become a successful leader, regardless of what field you're on or even in the workplace. So, by learning from athletes and their experiences, we can all become better leaders and work towards achieving our goals. So thank you for joining me on this month's Lead the Way Wednesday. If you're going to be at the Women in Product Conference, I hope to see you there in a couple of days. And if not, I will share my talk from the Women in Product Conference in my July edition of Lead the Way Wednesday, or my June edition of Lead the Way Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing you then. If you're looking for more content about leadership like you saw today, give us a follow on LinkedIn and that will be delivered right to your inbox.